Hello my beautiful viewers. Well, this is just a little trip down memory lane of my childhood, the 70s and 80s and a little bit into the 90s. Well, I mean, the big thing, how technology changed things, the massive thing was colour TV. I mean, I remember coming from school one day, home from school, and my brother had bought a colour TV. And we'd gone from black and white to colour, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was this theme tune on when I came in from school, this programme. I can't remember what it is, but I'm sure if I really thought about it, maybe I could. I don't know. But that was a massive change for the better, colour TV. There's no two ways about that. What else? The other thing that you have to understand, I mean, I'm 54. Was born in 1968, there was no way to record TV until VHS video recorders came out, and it was a bit of a battle going on with Betamax, which was another format, but VHS won. And when they came out, before there was VHS video recorders, sitting down at Christmas to watch, say, like The Wizard of Oz was a massive thing because there was no way to re-watch it. So people would try and get everything done and have the Christmas meal sometimes before Wizard of Oz started, and you'd watch that, you know. It was a massive thing, it was. That was. And then VHS video recorders came out, so now you could record TV, which was a massive thing. And then a little bit after that, the rental of VHS tapes started to come out, so you could rent films and stuff. I mean, you imagine. I mean, the kids today have no understanding of it really. How biblical that was. I mean, 1 minute, you know, you could watch films that you love. You know, you could rent them out and you could watch them. Whereas before, you couldn't. You could only watch them when they were broadcast on the television. It was a massive thing. Kids have no clue today. No clue. It was just a massive thing. It really was, you know. I remember watching Enter the Dragon. My brother bought it on VHS tape. We watched that. Amazing, amazing, amazing. You know, it was a biblical thing, really. To jump from not being able to record TV to a VHS, you could get VHS blank tapes and record TV shows and stuff. Top of the Pops, and they had timers on it, so you could like, you know, you could say like set your video recorder to record Top of the Pops or something like that, or a TV program. So even if you're out, you could come back and watch it on VHS. It was a massive thing. It really was, you know. And there was only 3 channels then as well. BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV. It was massive. It really was. You know, it really was. You know, and then a video shop started to appear. Where you could go and rent films out and stuff. I mean, I remember renting out Top Gun on VHS and Stand By Me in the 80s, you know, in my local town. This video store that it was in town. I'd go down there on my bicycle and rent them out, which was about a 15-minute ride away from where I lived. Because I was brought up on a council estate, so you'd have to go into town to rent these videos out and that. Yeah, it was great. It was bloody great. I mean, I even used to go sometimes to the other town, which was a few miles away, to rent Star Trek episodes out on VHS. Because I was a big Star Trek fan, and you have to go shopping in the other town, and they had them there, so I'd go on my bicycle, one little trip. But, you know, I mean, I was young, you know, I mean, then, you know. I mean, I'm 54 now, and what have you. And I didn't weigh as much as I do now. I mean, I'm like 20 stone now, but back then, I mean, I used to get into 32 waist jeans. You know, I was probably 11, 12 stone. I'm not anymore. You know, that's what happens with age. You know, and some of the medication I'm on, because I've got a few issues, puts weight on you. So yeah, but it was great. It was that was biblical. That was VHS tapes, and then he was superseded by DVDs and stuff. And now it's streaming, isn't it? You know what I mean? But back then, massive, massive. And then some of the early games like Battleship. I had that. I've had that for Christmas. I I had an upbringing like the Waltons, and you know, we did get a lot of presents. Battleship was. It's a game. That's like you set your ships on each side. Be like a thing there and a big thing there. He'd set his ships outside, and it was like A1, and you'd put little pins in. And on this computer Battleship one, well, basically what it was, this was the technology of the day. So he'd import all these things into his side of the computer, and I'd import them in my side of the computer. So if I say I thought it was a ship at A1, if I'd put in A1, fire. And then if it hit his ship, it would make an explosion noise. Boom! You know, make this explosion. Pretty basic stuff, but it was quite effective at the time. You know, it was good at the time because that's all it was. You know, the explosion of computer games and all that hadn't appeared at that point. It was still that game. It's like that, Punk or whatever it's called. But yeah, so that was good. Yeah, and remote controlled cars and stuff. And I always me and my brother had one of these things. It was like a helicopter on a big thing like that, the end of it, and it span round. And there was another one with a Starship Enterprise on it, to go round like that, and it can go up and down. The helicopter was on a stick like that, and it would go up and down, up and down. You know, you could lift it up, you could pick things up with it, and it would go up and down, spin round in a circle, go round in a circle like that. So we had one of them, and I had the helicopter on it. Then one year I'd got this, I think it was the Enterprise one as well, which was amazing. You know, I mean, now you can get bloody drones and everything, can't you? You know what I mean? Christ, I bought a drone a few years back, a little tiny drone, when I got into drones. About that big. Only about 50 quid. It could do all sorts of stuff, you know. It took me about 2 or 3 weeks to learn to fly it, but, you know, yeah. Oh, it's amazing stuff. Vinyl was big. Then, because there was no CDs, it was all vinyl. Oh, amazing. Happy days, you know. One thing about the 70s and 80s was, just having a reminisce here, you know, one thing about the 70s and 80s is that the music and the TV shows were just brilliant, absolutely brilliant, you know. I mean, the country was under Conservative rule, Margaret Thatcher. I lived through all that shit. I mean, to me, Margaret Thatcher was a great Prime Minister of the south of England, but growing up in the north, it was a wasteland. I mean, I remember watching the TV at night, and after just before the news ended, they'd have this little slot about how many jobs were going. So many thousands going here, so many thousands going there. The miners' strike. Oh yeah, I remember all that. You know, couldn't stand Margaret Thatcher, I'll be honest. But looking back with hindsight, she was a good Prime Minister of the south of England, but she was iconic for some people. You know, she was up there for, like, Churchill for some people, but for me, she was a great Prime Minister of the south of England, but she did make a lot of changes, you know. But the one thing I did admire about Margaret Thatcher, and we haven't got it in politicians today, is that she stood up for what she believed in. And the problem we have with politicians today, and this is only my humble opinion, but I'm quite sure quite a large proportion of the population feel the same, that politicians are just trying to please everybody. This is why we're in the state we're in now, with all this woke shite and all the rest of it, you know, where you can't say this and you can't say that, you know, because politicians are scared to stand up for things that they truly believe in, and now, because they're scared of offending people. But you can't go through life without unintentionally offending people. It's impossible. It's not reality. But politicians haven't got the balls to stand up and do anything about it, like these Just Stop Oil and all this sort of stuff, and those people who threw that paint over the painting the other day. You know, it's madness, you know. You can't just stop oil. But anyway, sorry, I've got sidetracked there. Get back to what we were talking about. But there was loads of great innovations in the 80s. I mean, satellite TV came along, which was fantastic. I remember, I think I got satellite TV in the late 80s. Yeah, that was great, MTV. But MTV was good, but I don't think and it was groundbreaking. But I wasn't a massive fan of MTV, to be honest with you. As the years went on, I mean, they had VH1 and things like that. I was more of a VH1 fan and this, that and the other. But to me now, I mean, what superseded all that, all these music TV channels like MTV and everything, is YouTube. It's like a global jukebox. But it's not just a global jukebox. I mean, there's TV shows on there. You want to find out how to do something, it's on there. You want to find out how to make some soup, it's on there. Make a pie, cook chips, learn how to wild camp, van life, my channel, James Higgins Open World. You know, you can have your own channel now. You know, your own, well, it's a TV channel, isn't it, really, on YouTube. You know, it doesn't cost you anything. You know, isn't it amazing? Who'd have thought that in the 80s, that eventually you could have your own TV show? Worldwide as well. YouTube is worldwide. You know, my face has gone around the world. I've had people from Brazil saying hi. You know, hi to all the beautiful people who watch my channel in Brazil. Massive shout out to all of you. Massive shout out to people in Australia. Massive shout out to everyone from around the world who watches my channel. From James Higgins Open World. Yeah. You know, who'd have thought that, eh? That anyone could have like their own TV show and it doesn't cost anything. Obviously it's paid for by adverts. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing. You know, I get to review things and created a community, you know. I get some great comments from my subscribers. Yeah, brilliant, isn't it? Anyway, I just thought I'd have a little bit of a reminisce. Lots of great things came out in the 80s. Lots of great stuff. We could be on here for an hour or so talking about it. But this is just a little reminisce from me, to be honest with you, of some of the great things that came out in the 80s. And that, the main ones were definitely I'll wrap this up now. Colour TV, VHS video recorder, and Sky TV were the three massive things that came out, what have you, which opened up the entertainment industry, and then mobile communication, big massive phones, and what else? And the internet, the basic internet, which was dial-up at first. I only got it when it was broadband, but that's another story. Anyway, see you on the next one.